Well, hello, everybody. It's great to have Mr. Bryan Hutson on. How you doing today, Brother Bryan?
I'm doing well, Spencer. How about yourself?
Hey, doing good, man. Doing good. I have followed your ministry for many years when you sang with the Kingsmen and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um. Well, what age did you started singing, and what was your very first song you actually started singing?
Well, I don't remember the first song. I was probably 4 or 5 years old. I remember getting up and singing with my dad in church, and we did the song. I remember the song. Let's see, what is it called? Uh, Keep on the firing line. You remember that
Mm-hmm.
old hymn?
Mm-hmm.
Keep on the firing line.
Mm-hmm.
Fight, be brave against all evil, never run. Yeah, that's probably my first song. But I was probably 4 or 5 years old.
Wow. And then I'll tell you what, and I'll mention this a little bit. Back when y'all some of the Kingsmen, y'all put out a bunch of old songs, and thank God y'all still doing that this day and time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But Brother Bryan, in 1993, you joined the Heartland Quartet. How was that experience, and what was some of your songs you actually done with them?
Well, I joined those guys in 1993. I had met them. All the guys that were a part of Heartland at the time were actually singing in Branson. They were singing as a part of the Blackwood Quartet. Ron
Oh
Blackwood
yeah.
had a group out there in Branson that sung in a theater, and all those guys were a part of the Heartland Quartet. And I went in, filled in for them in 1992, and met all the guys that would become Heartland. And when I joined them in '93, it was a great experience. Of course, there was two former Cathedral members, Roy Trimble and George Ammon Webster, both traveled with the Cathedrals back in the '70s, and they had a young man out of Kansas that's singing bass, Brent Fredericks. So that was a great experience getting to travel with those three guys. And of course, like I said, George Ammon and Roy were part of the Cathedrals, and so they kind of taught me a lot when I was on the road. I'd never been on the road. I'd been singing uh, locally with my brother in a little trio out of Indiana, but those guys kind of took me under their wing and showed me how to properly tie a tie and how to wear a suit the right way and how to stand on the platform. And it was a great experience. We had songs like "He's Making Gold for the Kingdom." We had a radio song at the time called "It's Time to Wake Up the Master." It did really well for us in the radio. We were nominated favorite new group in 1993. We didn't win that year at
Wow.
the Quartet convention, but we were nominated for favorite new group, and just had a lot of great experiences with those guys. Traveled, got to see the world a little bit with those fellows, and eventually, Roy Trimble left the group, and Tim Webster, George's son, came in and sang a tenor for us, and just had a great experience with those guys, and loved it. They were honestly, Spencer, they were more like brothers than they were guys that I traveled with. So it was a great experience.
Oh wow. And then for then you join a group that actually you just fit in for a couple of weeks ago, the Kingsmen Quartet.
Yeah, yeah. Got to. Well, what it was, the Eldridge Fox, who owned the Kingsmen, he produced a lot of albums for, I mean, Karen Peck and New River, Gold City, several groups, and he also produced albums for the Heartland Quartet, which I was a part of at the time. And Eldridge told me in 1996 that if he ever needed a lead singer, he's going to call me. And he called
Wow.
me in early of 1996 and offered me, well, asked me to come to Asheville, North Carolina to try out for them. And I drove to Asheville. My brother and myself drove to Asheville, and I auditioned for the Kingsmen, and they offered me the job. And then I really got to see the world and got to travel about 230 days a year with those fellows and sing a lot of great music. And just the Lord allowed me to kind of live out my dream of being with my favorite quartet. So that was a great experience for sure.
And I know back when you joined them, what was your favorite song that you sung with them back then?
When I first went with them, I loved the new songs that we were introducing to gospel music, like "The Next Cloud" and "Get You
Oh
to the
yeah.
Other Side" and "I'll Live Again," and songs like that. But I really liked singing the old Kingsman classic songs. And there was a song that the Kingsman had recorded on one of my favorite albums, The album was called The Upper Window, and they did a song called Say a Prayer. And we brought that back when I was with the Kingsmen. And around 1997, we brought it back, and I loved singing those old Kingsman classic songs that I kind of grew up on. So that was one of my favorite songs, was Say a Prayer. And like I said, we introduced a lot of great music. The song You're Not Alone was a #1 song, and several songs that really ministered to people. I loved singing any kind of those songs.
Well, I was telling but Mr. Harry, who was on last week, Bryan, you might not know this, but years ago, the Kingsman recorded a classic my cousin wrote called I'm Saved. Deborah Shepard wrote it.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
That's awesome. I remember that song. That was a great song. So.
Yep. Well, at the end, didn't you join us what's the name of that quartet? When you had with God Ran Shallow Quartet?
Well, I actually brought When God Ran to the Kingsmen. I was with the Kingsmen two separate times. I left the Kingsmen in 2001, and I rejoined them in 2007, and that's when I brought the song When God Ran to the Kingsmen. And in about 2009, it was nominated for Song of the Year, and it was a #1 song for the group. And so I got to do almost another 5 years with the Kingsmen, from 2007 to late 2011. So I was almost there another 5 years. So that's when I brought the song When God Ran to gospel music. But when I joined Sold Out Quartet in 2011, I brought that song from my Kingsman days to Sold Out.
I guarantee you've heard many testimonies through that song. I mean, that song is still blessing people this day and time.
Oh yeah, great song. Great
songwriter too. I don't know who wrote the song, but great songwriter too.
A guy named Benny Hester wrote the song. He wrote it in 1987. He was a contemporary singer, and he had one of those. He had one of those real contemporary type voices, and so he had wrote it and recorded it and put it out. And then Phillips, Craig, and Dean, a contemporary group, they put it out in the early 90s, and that's when I heard their version of it. And that's when I brought it to the Kingsmen. And yeah, he wrote it for he wrote it for people who felt like they had went to the church and they had lived for the Lord, but had got away from God and wandered away. And that's who he wrote it for.
To still this day and time, I mean, like I said, you have blessed people with that song, many other songs through your history in gospel music.
Yeah, it's a great song for sure.
But Bryan, since you did that, didn't you and your wife, then y'all started hitting the road now singing?
Yeah, I come off the road in 2016, and my wife Yvonne and I, we have been ministering together since 2016, and we travel. We try to stay within 5 hours of Ohio. We live around Cincinnati, and so we try to stay within 5 hours of home. But we travel about 155 ministry dates every year, singing. I preach a little bit. We do marriage enrichment events. We have a big Christmas tour that we do every year. We do about 19 or 20 Christmas concerts between Thanksgiving weekend all the way up till New Year's Eve. And so we always look forward to that. And so we're right now at this taping, we're gearing up for our summer tour, and we've got several outside concerts and those type of things, festivals and fairs and everything in between. But yeah, we're enjoying that. People can find out more information on us at rescuemeministries.com. That's all one word, rescuemeministries.com. We also have a Facebook page, and people can get on there and follow us on Facebook. But yeah, we just enjoying life and enjoying ministering together. I'm also when my schedule allows me to, I go and fill in with different groups. I filled in with some groups since I come off the road. I filled in with Kingsman a little bit, and Poet Voices a little bit, and there's a couple. The Blackwood Brothers. I filled in with the Blackwood Brothers a couple times since I've come off the road, and I enjoy getting to sing some quartet music and enjoy doing that. So,
you mentioned about filling with the Kingsmen. You fill in with them, I think, in June, ain't you?
Yeah, I'm going to fill in with them next month in June. I'll be with them at the Memphis Quartet show. That's I think Wednesday night, June the 17th. So I'll get to do that. And then the rest of that week we'll be in Texas, a couple dates, and then we end up in Seminole, Oklahoma, one of those big outdoor concerts that a lot of the groups have been known for and known for going. And so that'll be fun to get to see the guys again, sing some quartet music with the Kingsmen. That'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, you mentioned the Kingsmen. When is y'all's 10th anniversary?
Well, the 70th anniversary.
I mean, the 70th. Yeah.
Yeah, 70th anniversary is this year in 2026, but they're having a big concert in Asheville on Friday night, June the 10th. And so some of the guys they're going to be debuting their 70th anniversary album. And they're also inviting some of the former members back to come and sing some old Kingsman songs right there at Trinity Baptist Church in Asheville on Friday night, July the 10th. So that's going to be a great concert. So people can get on KingsmanQuartet.com and get the information for those for that concert. And like I said, that's going to be a lot of fun getting to see the guys again and sing some old songs at the same time. So, but also, I'm also, you're doing your podcast here.
Yeah.
And I'm involved in a podcast called Behind the Crown podcast. Yeah. A good friend of mine, Josh Griffin. We do a podcast each and every week. And so we've interviewed several of the former Kingsman guys, and we've done tribute episodes to them. So if people are interested in that, they can go on YouTube and look up Behind the Crown podcast. That's Behind the Crown podcast on YouTube, and follow us on there. And like I said, that podcast is dedicated to the message of the men and the music of the mighty Kingsmen. So we have a lot of fun with that. But I encourage people who are gospel music fans or fans of the Kingsmen to get on there and look it up and discover some great stuff about the Kingsmen.
Yeah. Well, let me say this. Harry Reid, I had Harry Reid on last week. Harry Reid told me to ask you this question. He said, ask him if you ever heard of color Chestnut Brown.
Oh, yeah, I have. Yeah, for sure. For sure.
He said, he said, tell her what color that is. And if he ever made it almost black brown.
Well, yeah, I have been putting stuff on my hair for years, Spencer. If I don't put stuff on my hair, I'm Snow White, man. I mean, yeah. I'm Snow White. So Harold
he told me to ask you.
He has picked on me for years about my hair color. So yeah, that's what that's all about.
Yeah. Well, Brother Bryan, thank you for coming on today, and truly the best is yet to come for y'all's ministry. And can't wait to see what the Lord's going to do in the near future down the road somewhere.
All right, Spencer, you take care, man. It's great talking to you.
You too. God bless you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Tonight, if you're struggling with something, you think you've gone so far, you can't go back home. Let me encourage you. You can go home. Your Heavenly Father is waiting with open arms, and He loves you. Let this song bless you tonight. Listen. Almighty God, the great I am, immovable rock, omnipotent, powerful, awesome Lord, victorious warrior, commanding King of kings, mighty conqueror, and the only time I ever saw Him run was when He ran to me. He took me in His arms, held my head to His chest, said, my son's come home again, lifted my face, wiped the tears from my eyes, with forgiveness in His voice. He said, son, do you know I still love you? He caught me by surprise when God ran. The day I left home, dusty road. Ahead I could see it was the only time. It was the only time I ever saw him run. Was when he ran to me. He took me in his arms, held my head to his chest, said, "My son's come home again," lifted my face, wiped the tears from my eyes, with forgiveness in his voice. He said, "Son, do you know I still love you?" He caught me by surprise, then he brought me to my knees when God ran. I saw him run to me. I was so ashamed, all alone and so far away. But now I know that he's been waiting for this day. When God ran to me, he took me in his arms, held my head to his chest, and said, "My son's come home again," lifted my face, wiped the tears from my eyes, with forgiveness in his voice. I felt his love for me again. He ran to me. He took me in his arms, held my head to his chest, and said, "My son's come home again," lifted my face, wiped the tears from my eyes, with forgiveness in his voice. He said, "Son,